Welcome back to my Watch Me Build series. Today we're going to be recreating OptimoRoute. If you work in the waste management industry or the building construction industry, you most likely have heard of OptimoRoute before. As you can see from the map here, it's essentially a driver scheduling tool. So you would have a bunch of jobs. Let's say they are deliveries that need to happen or pickups that need to happen, and you have to go off and see your customers. What the software does, you're able to assign drivers to jobs, and then you bulk select all these jobs and you click a button, like this magic button called Plan Routes. And when you plan route, it creates literally the driver route for each job. So yeah, very important piece of software for any company that's handling deliveries and pickups. What we're going to do today is use AI and show you how fast it is to create custom software now. At the moment, you're probably paying $10,000, $20,000 for software like this per year. And as you'll see in the next 15 to 30 minutes of this video, however long it's going to take, we can create very similar experiences much faster nowadays, which means custom software is now in reach. And before it was just for the huge companies, but now it's being democratized, and most companies now are able to leverage custom software to improve their operation and save a ton of costs and improve efficiencies. I am going to fly through this. If you have any questions at any point, just leave a comment below and I'll address it straight away. So the UI is fairly basic. I'm just going to go through some of the features of OptimoRoute. So they've got automated planning, real-time order tracking, customer feedback, driver, vehicle, mobile app. Obviously for this demo, we're not going to build a mobile app. We can do that in a future part. Proof of delivery is critical here. Again, that's with the accompanying mobile app where the driver is able to pull up a job, take photos of the delivery, get signature from the customer as well. We won't cover that in this part. But the automated planning is the main part that I want to cover in this first part. So I want to be able to produce a map like this and be able to assign certain jobs to a driver, then click a button that says plan routes, and then hopefully it can create routes for us that look similar to this map. And that's it. We've planned that driver's route for the day. That to me is a successful first part of this video, and that's what we'll try to cover together using AI. Cool. So as with all projects in this series, we simply start by opening up our terminal, and I've got the terminal pulled up here. And what I'm going to do is just make a quick directory called, let's just call it route system, like so. And then I'm going to cd into route system, and then we'll just open up Claude. Step one with all projects, we just open up Claude in the folder that we want to work with. Now this is using Sonnet 5. I'm going to switch over the model to use Opus, which is the best model for development at the moment. So that's set up here. Now I use a transcription software called Whisperflow. It's at the bottom here, you'll notice. I have a hotkey that I can click, and then it's going to allow me to just speak into Claude much faster. And what I love about it is that you can be very raw with how you're thinking and what you want to talk about. And AI is so good at taking general kind of rambling and synthesizing that information and understanding what you want to actually achieve. So what I'm going to do is literally hit record here. Then you'll just see me speak to Claude Code in like the dumbest way possible. I'm just trying to explain to it what I want from the first version. And our goal right now is simply to plan the system. So I'm just going to turn this on now, and you'll see that it's now recording. But cool. So we want to build a MVP, a very first version working prototype of a alternative to OptimoRoute. I'm going to paste in the OptimoRoute website, and I want you to just check out the platform just so you understand fully what OptimoRoute is. But let me just tell you what that is now. We want the ability to create jobs, and a job could be a delivery or a pickup of something. Let's say it's a waste management program, and we want to pick up and drop off toilets, for example. So we take toilets to sites, and then we have to pick them up. So we'll keep it very simple. You're going to deliver a toilet or pick up a toilet, and you're going to have to do that across all of Greater Sydney. So each job is either a delivery or a pickup, and it's going to have an address, obviously, which is very important. And the goal of the MVP is that I want to be able to enter, let's say 5 jobs for a given day. Then I want to assign that to a particular driver. So I should be able to manage a ton of drivers in the application as well. I assign that to a particular driver. Then I click a button called Plan Routes. And when I click that, it's going to actually show me on a map a pin of every single route And what it's done, it's actually going to trace each route and plan out the exact driving route that driver, that truck driver, is going to take. That's essentially the purpose of the MVP. So let me know what you want to use. If we need to use a third-party system or Google Maps API or something, that's completely your call. But I just want you to plan this out. It's for a YouTube demo, so I want this to be very basic. I don't want to spend hours and hours building this thing out. I just want a very basic prototype, basic demo of getting this thing up and running. So please give me a plan. And I just clicked my hotkey again, and that captured everything that I said. So everything that I said here has just been placed into Claude Code. What I'm going to do is simply click enter. I'm going to hit Shift Tab a couple times, just to keep it in plan mode, as you can see there. And we're just going to let Claude do its thing and plan for us everything we just told it. So we'll give this a sec. I'll most likely just skip through this part and then come back once it's done, because it may take a few minutes. Okay, so it's come back with some kind of plan, and let's just read through it together. Great brief. This is really clean MVP to build. I know OptimoRoute well. Multi-stop route planning, optimization for delivery service fleets, and we described essentially its core loop, stripped down to one vehicle at a time. Let me lay out the plan. So what we're building, a web app with 4 things: drivers, a simple CRUD list, which is just create, read, update, delete. The ability to do that for drivers. Then for jobs, so each is either a delivery or a pickup with an address for a given day. Assignment, you pick a day, assign a set of jobs to one driver, and plan routes. Geocode every address, drop pins on a map, optimize the visiting order, draw the actual turn-by-turn driving path the truck takes. The key technical insight, because you assign jobs to one driver at a time, this is a single vehicle problem. That means I don't need a heavy optimization engine. Google's Directions API has optimized waypoints, so that's amazing. Google has some of the functionality built in. It reorders your stops into the best sequence and returns the drawable driving route in one call. So that's amazing. I think that's the whole backend engine of OptimoRoute. We can just simply use the Google Directions API. So that's phenomenal. It's giving us a recommended stack. I don't want to go too deep into that. It's asked us some questions. So do you have a Google Maps platform API key with billing enabled? I'm going to say yes, because we have created one. It's asking us how should we store drivers and jobs for the demo, and it's recommending to do Supabase. Instead of using Supabase, because I don't want to use a third party, let's just use local SQLite. This means we don't need to set up any third-party system. And where should this run? Locally as well. I don't want to deploy to Vercel, because then I'm going to have to set up Vercel. So this is all just locally contained prototype, a great starting point for us and for the demo. So we'll submit those answers. So it's saying, since this is a greenfield empty directory, there's no existing code to explore. I'll go straight to writing the plan based on your locked-in choices. So now it's writing the bigger plan. We are still in plan mode in Claude Code using Opus 4.8. So the plan is written, and here is the summary. Route Planner MVP. The core trick, since you assign jobs one at a time, single vehicle problem, that's fine. Context, so it gives a bunch of context, some key technical decisions, which is the optimized waypoints from the Google API, the locked frameworks, this is all going to be local. The UI, it's using Tailwind CSS and ShadCN UI, which is fine for demo purposes. What I want to do, actually, I'm going to tell it, I want to update that to use Microsoft Fluent package so that the application feels more like a Microsoft application. Both start screens and flow. So there's going to be a drivers page, jobs page, planner, plan route button. It all looks pretty fine. Got the Google Maps API key, various build phases. That's all fine as well. npm run, add 2 drivers. Okay, so it's saying it's written up the plan and it's ready to execute. Would you like to proceed? What I'm going to say, tell it what to change. Use Microsoft Fluent UI for the UI instead, please. So I'm just going to do that. I want it to use Microsoft Fluent. It's going to make for a much better user experience out of the box. And we'll get it to update that plan here. Again, we've not started coding at all. We're purely planning. So we're spending the time to plan what we want for the MVP for the YouTube video. Okay, so here is our updated plan. No need to read through it. We can just execute on this. So I'm going to say yes and use auto mode. This is now switched Claude Code into auto mode, and now it's taking our plan. It's going to actually start coding for us. This part is magic. This is where AI is coding. Back in the day, and when I say in the day, I mean just 3 short years ago, we had to manually write every single word, character by character. And you can imagine how slow that was. Now with AI, we're able to execute on plans like this at a much faster pace. And the crazy thing is that the quality of code that is being produced now rivals some of the best engineers that exist to build applications like this. So not only are we faster with development, we are getting more reliable, which means less and less bugs appear in applications as the AI models advance and get better. So we're going to let this run, and then I'll come back once this one-shot prompt, which just means we told it to do something once. I'm going to let this run, and then we'll come back once that's finished, and we'll review the state of what it made. Perfect. So it's saying it works. Full end-to-end optimization is live. Let me pull the summary totals and confirm the whole flow. So now it's going to come back to us with a URL we can visit locally to see what has been created from our single prompt. So it's saying try the demo. We just have to open this URL. Oh, so here we go. I'm going to open that. What we're looking at here is we're looking at this together for the first time. All I did was give it that prompt initially, which I showed you guys, and now look at what it's created. It's created us an application called RouteWise. It's even come up with the name. It has a planner tab, a jobs tab, and a drivers tab, where we can come in, add drivers. We can't click on one. We can edit drivers. We can delete them. Okay, so it's got the ability to create, read, update, and delete drivers. Same thing for jobs. So jobs, deliveries, and pickups. I can edit them or delete them or add a new job. So the type either delivery or pickup, customer name, address, date, and an assigned driver. Then if we go to planner, there's a given date for a plan. So if I go back to the 24th, there's no jobs for this day. And if I go to the 25th, there are these jobs here, and then I can select by driver. So the flow at the moment assumes that drivers get assigned to jobs. So it's not as friendly as OptimoRoute is, and we'll open up OptimoRoute in a second just to reflect exactly how OptimoRoute works. But here you can see Dave for the 25th already has 5 jobs associated, and I've not clicked the plan routes button. So these look like they are, these red arrows look like they're deliveries, and then the greens are pickups. Okay, and let's now try the plan routes feature. So if I click that, you can see it's automatically routed us, or it's automatically routed our jobs 1 through 5. And it's saying it's going to be 205 kilometers worth of distance and 4 hours 22 in terms of duration and 5 stops. So I mean, for a working prototype already, this is absolutely brilliant what it's done here. Now we want to update this user experience to be more like OptimoRoute. This is an amazing first prototype. It did this from one prompt, mind you, like one prompt it was able to develop this. So what we're going to do now is log into OptimoRoute so we can look at the more detailed user experience in OptimoRoute. So this is OptimoRoute here. This is the UI. This is your day-to-day operation. This is what you will be using. The main thing about OptimoRoute, it has 3 tabs at the top, but these first 2 are critical. So you have the ability to plan and optimize. And what that does, it has a bunch of drivers on the left and all the orders on the right in this UI here. And then if I click live is just showing all the stuff that's happening today. Right now, there's nothing planned here. So the plan and optimize tab is super important. We're going to go back to Claude and tell it to make our UI look more like this. Have a plan and optimize tab and then have a live tab. I'm going to screenshot both of these tabs and give it to Claude and just say, make our UI look more like this. I don't want it to have all the features, all the bells and whistles. I want it to still keep it simplified, and I'll tell Claude that. But the main thing here is to look that we've got drivers on the left. Then I'm able to select a bunch of jobs and then plan those orders. Then if I plan routes, those 4 I've selected have now been planned. Oh, actually that's planned all 33. So let's click all of those. Let's unschedule all of those orders. And if I go to plan routes, you can see plan routes, it allows us to select both drivers, and the drivers have a working time from, working time to, the vehicle, the weightage, the volume. Then if I was to plan routes from here, you can see there, it's assigned 2 drivers and planned all those routes. So for our purposes of our demo, this is what I want to get to. I want us to have a driver tab on the left like this, a bunch of orders, and I want to click a button called plan routes, and it just automatically assign those drivers to the most relevant set of routes and schedule them in for the day. So where to from here? Let's screenshot this page, and then I'm going to go back into Claude, and I'm going to actually drag the screenshot in like so. So now the screenshot's been dragged in, and I'm going to talk to Claude and tell it exactly what I want it to do. So I've just taken a screenshot of OptimoRoute. Firstly, the prototype you made was phenomenal, really, really good, but I need the user experience to match OptimoRoute more, please. So here I've got a screenshot of OptimoRoute. It's the plan and optimize tab. We need 2 tabs at the top. We're either in plan and optimize mode or we're in live mode. And live mode just shows the current day activity that's going on the map. Plan and optimize is where we go to actually plan our routes. Now, as you can see from the screenshot, plan and optimize has a left sidebar where it just has some basic stats. Then it has a list of the drivers. And then on the right, the main content, we have a big area is the map. And then at the bottom, we have our orders list and a bunch of important buttons there. The most important being plan routes button. So what we're able to do is select which orders we want to actually schedule in and which driver we want to schedule them into. For our demo, what I want is a plan routes button. So when I click that button, it opens up a dialog. And in that dialog, I'm able to select all the drivers that I want to plan routes for that day. And then when I click plan routes, it should automatically schedule jobs for each driver according to our entire orders list. And it should do this obviously in the most efficient way possible. So take all of that info and come back to me with a second revision of our application, please. That's how I talk to AI every single day. That's how we talk to it. So I've just said all of that and I've clicked enter. We'll let that cook and go back to RouteWise, our working prototype, and wait for this to complete the second revision. And then we'll come back once the second revision is done and review what that looks like together. Okay, now it's complete. So RouteWise V2 is done. And now it's saying it's an OptimoRoute style multi-driver dispatcher. So it's beefed it up a bit more. The big new capability, true multi-driver dispatch. So we'll be able to click a plan routes button, get a dialog and bulk assign jobs to various drivers. Now it's saying open up the planner. You can see behind the screen, we see the updated version now. I've still not done much. All we've done, we did a first version prototype, iterated once or twice, then got it to do a second pass with a screenshot from OptimoRoute, and this is what it has created so far. So if I just zoom in a little bit more here, you'll see our new UI. So we have a left sidebar with our drivers. There's a manage drivers button at the bottom, which takes us to a drivers page. We have now the drivers have particular colors. We have nicer numbers on top of each delivery. We have a headquarters location that's been listed out there with the star. We can select dates. So if I go back to the 24th, you can see there's no orders for this date. Go back to the 25th, there is. 26th, there's nothing. So if I go to the 25th, we can scroll at the bottom here. There's a bit of a bug there with the priority badges going above the header. But here are our orders. If I click routes, there are no routes. It's telling us to click plan routes. So yeah, there are a bunch of our orders. These are 3 of our drivers. Nothing's been scheduled. So let's hit the plan routes dialog and see what happens here. So select the drivers to plan for the 25th of July. All 16 orders will be automatically distributed and optimized across the selected drivers. So let's do this just for Dave. And if we zoom out, well, that's not worked there. Yeah, it takes a refresh and then I see it. So it's a bit buggy there. Let me go plan routes. Let's plan it for all of them. That seems to have worked. So there was a bit of a bug early on. I'm not going to worry about that bug too much, just because this functionality, I wanted to show how fast it is that we can get something. In this current state, now we're looking very close to what OptimoRoute offers. And from here, I would go on and optimize a bunch of stuff with the UI, the user experience. But the whole ability of having orders, having drivers, being able to plan, schedule them in. We're using the Google Maps API here. They do charge you per route that gets created in Google. So that's something that we got to be mindful of if we roll this into production. But the cost of running this should be far less than the cost that OptimoRoute actually charges you. I think that's a good point to wrap up the demo for now. I just wanted to get to that point. If you're interested in me pushing this further and releasing a part 2 of this video and developing it out more, then just leave a comment below. If you want to see me do another piece of software that you use day to day, you want to see me recreate that also using AI, leave a comment as well. If you like the video, please hit subscribe on the channel. It will help me out a lot. And yeah, if you want help building your own custom software for your business, if you run a 7-8 figure construction company, and you want help building software, then just book a call in the link below. I've left that in the description. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.